Welcome into National Signing Day coverage brought to you by Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. I'm Ashley Pickle, joined alongside by Next Level Athletes Greg Powers. And Powers, let's travel down and take a look at the Bears. What do you think about Baylor's recruiting class overall so far?
Where I want to give credit to the Baylor coaching staff is for its ability to evaluate talent. These guys really seem to understand good football and are able to find good football players. The guy who jumps to the foremost of my mind when I say that is Wall offensive lineman Tate Williams, 6'4", 265 pounds. He can play anywhere up front, and really no one knew much about him at the time that he made his Baylor commit. And as we've evaluated him, his stock has continued to rise. So I really think up and down this list, you can look at guys and say, wow, all these guys can play in college. There's not one guy who I look at on this list and say, maybe he's a reach. Maybe he really doesn't fit in the Big 12. I think they did a tremendous job from that aspect.
And really, when you take a look at the class as a whole, who are the top prospects in the class?
Well, they have a very tightly knit group of prospects who are kind of all lumped in together there in the DCTF top 50 as 4 stars. The highest rated one is going to be Lindale running back Jordan Jenkins. He's a bruiser. As a matter of fact, he had one of my favorite moments in an interview this year when he told our Ashley Pickle that sometimes he got in trouble for looking for contact instead of avoiding it. He loves to run over a defender, but he also has the home run hitting speed to make big plays and be a touchdown threat anytime he has his hands on the football. They were able to reel in Byron Drones, a quarterback from Shadow Creek who made national waves whenever he went up to the Elite 11 and kind of caught the eye of some of the big-time recruiting pundits who were on the scene there. He helped lead Shadow Creek to a state championship in 2019 and just really has a well-rounded skill set and the arm to push the ball up the field and make big plays within the passing game.
And finally, any sleepers in this class that we should be keeping an eye out for?
This is a recruiting class that I feel like we could talk about sleepers all day because they have a number of guys on this list who I think really just don't get enough credit for how good they really are. Tyrone Brown was the first commitment in this class. He committed to the old staff, and he stayed solid throughout the course of this recruitment, and he's a guy from West Orange Stark who's really talented. I really like wide receiver Javon Gibson. He's a 6'2.5", 6'3" wide receiver with game-changing type of speed. And I think he complements 4-star wide receiver Elijah Bean really well. Bean is another 6'4" guy who can really take the top off of a defense. So those are some guys who I really think can change the perceptions or what the perceptions are within the Baylor offense and even on the defensive side of the ball. We saw this year that Baylor struggled at times. And now that you're factoring in guys like Jordan Jenkins and Elijah Bean and Byron Drones and Javon Gibson, you're talking about guys who can really change what they're doing within that offense.